Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Late Bloomer podcast. Sorry, I'm looking at my computer to make sure that we're recording. This is the Late Bloomer podcast with your host, Asia. So this podcast is going to be on my original channel, Asia Drummond. I've had this YouTube channel since 2015, and it's always been about personal development, depression, mental health, weight loss, just, finding ways to live a healthier and balanced life. I started in 2015 when I was 21, and now I'm 31. And I feel like this podcast is what's the word? The brainchild that was developed based on everything I've learned through the past 10 years. Today. So this podcast is really going to be about what it means to be a late bloomer in a society, especially fueled by social media and Instagram specifically, kind of making us feel like we should have accomplished certain things by this age. So this podcast is really geared towards my 30-year-olds, especially my early 30-year-olds who feel like they should be married, have 2 kids, and have a house, and also have a $1 billion business. It's for all of those people who feel like society is telling them that they are not successful, or they're not where they should be, or maybe you actually aren't where you should be. And we're going to talk about the should, because says who, but maybe you really are a late starter, a late bloomer, so to say, and you really haven't accomplished certain things that you should have already. For example, this is my first year filing my own taxes. My dad has done it for me in the past, and I'm not going to be afraid to admit that on this podcast. That's what this is for. So stuff like that. Or this is my first year trying to establish a healthy fitness routine, and I've tried it. I've tried bouts. But I've never actually stuck with anything. And this is the first year that I'm okay, I need to do this, not because I'm trying to lose weight for some goal. I need to do this for my health, and I'm kind of learning that now. But I've known people who have been in the gym, running, doing whatever, not for weight, just for mental health, and they got that a long time ago. That was something that was established in their psyche years ago, and I'm kind of a late bloomer in that. So so I know there are a lot of people who feel like they aren't where they're supposed to be, and that's what this conversation is about. And it's not coming from a place of I've done it and I'm going to teach you how. That's not what this is. This is I'm struggling with these things, and I'm going to talk about it, and hopefully you resonate. And if you don't, that's okay, but if you're looking for a community of people who we're not perfect, and we're not saying, I've got it all figured out, that's okay. And come on home. This is the community for you. So the first thing I want to talk about, this won't be a long podcast since it's the introduction, but the first thing I really wanted to talk about, honestly, and I'm going to go to my computer because this has my little notes on it. I wanted to talk about the timeline trap, feeling like at 30, you're supposed to have accomplished certain things. I know when I was 21, I thought that by the time I'm 30, I knew I was I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm not sure what I want to do, but I'm going to definitely be an expert in whatever field I chose. Do you know what I mean? And I felt like no matter what I do, I'm going to be great at it, and I'm going to be extremely successful. And I'm also going to be married, and I'll also have 2 children and a dog. And we're going to live in LA. That's what I thought. And to think now at 30, and when I was 29 and none of those things were in the cards, and 30 was fastly approaching, I was so depressed because I'm I failed. I'm not doing any of these things. And I was trying to scrape to like accomplish things at 29 so that by when my 30th birthday like touched, I was like, all right, I've done something. That's insane. That's insane. We have to like let go of this like this what am I trying to say? Age trap that we're in, that things have to be accomplished by a certain age. Like, I have it written down here. The people who have done things outside of that like preferred timeline. Vera Wang, she started Vera Wang at 40 years old. Harlan Sanders, the person who developed KFC, he did that at 65. Stan Lee, the person who created the Marvel universe, was 38 apparently. So, that just tells you. And also sometimes because of that trap, on the flip side, maybe you have done everything that society told you to do. Maybe you are married, maybe you are an accountant and you have 2 kids and you're really trapped in this like, this is your role, we gotta take care of the kids, and like this is what my life is gonna be like for the next 30-40 years. And you wake up one day and you're like, I hate this. I really want to be a chef. I really, really wanted to be a chef, and I didn't because my parents told me that I needed to be an accountant. My dad was an accountant, and his dad was an accountant, and his dad's dad was an accountant, and this is what we do in the family business. And that's crazy. That's crazy. If you don't like that, quit that job, girl. Quit it. And I know that's like not very responsible advice, but you know what I mean. Okay, keep the job, go to culinary school at nighttime, and figure out how to like change your life so that you can be happy. Like, I just think the time lamb trap is a real thing, and we have to let it go in order to like in order to own our own narrative and our own story, because those rules are arbitrary. They actually are. And I think that once you break out of that like dogma, that feeling that this is what's supposed to be, it frees you to be like creative with your life and with your story. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give you an example of myself. I'm realizing now at 30, I've always known, but I'm really afraid of being poor. So I've just like pushed those feelings down. But I've always known that I'm not meant to work for anyone. Like, I'm really not meant to have a 9-to-5 job. It just isn't my flavor. Okay, wait, before I say that though, the job that I have right now currently, I'm very happy working for you and I'd like to stay employed. Thank you so much. But in general, 9-to-5 work isn't really for me. And I know that I'm supposed to find my groove and create my own business and find alternative ways to make money that isn't so rigid. I know that financial freedom is incredibly important to me, and being able to work from home and travel and do whatever it is I want to do is important to me. I know that I don't really want kids. That's not something that is interesting. That's not nice. I don't mean interesting. That's not something that I have a calling for. And I don't really see my life going in that direction either. Like, there are just a few things that once I kind of divorced myself from the idea of what I'm supposed to have accomplished by 30, and I kind of like really broke down, okay, like, what do I really want to do? What really makes me happy? And I'm kind of realizing the things that make me happy, and they're a little bit untraditional, I'd say, but embrace it and embrace it, honestly. Embrace individualism and your own timeline. And I think that that's really important. So back to being a late bloomer. If you feel like there are things that you haven't done now, if there are things that you haven't done yet, and you know that you feel like you're a bit behind your peers, that's okay. And feeling I won't say depressed, but feeling inadequate because you don't know how to do certain things, or you haven't done certain things. You don't know how to file your taxes. You don't know, you've never been promoted. Like, you're still kind of in that like entry junior level role in your job, and you've never ever been promoted and to managerial level, and you feel like first of all, by the way, let's start there. Let's talk about that. Just a quick aside. Not everybody is meant to be a manager, and that doesn't mean that you're underperforming. First of all, 9 to 5 life is absolutely okay. And if you really want to work, if you love the comfort and the security of working in a 9 to 5, that's fabulous, and there's nothing wrong with that. And further into that, there's nothing wrong with being at a junior level forever. Like, if you don't want to be a manager, not everybody's meant to be a manager. That comes with a certain type of stress and responsibility that not everybody is seeking to have. So if you don't want to do that, that's totally fine. But if you feel like you want to, what's the phrase? Go up the corporate ladder. What's the phrase? You know what I'm saying. If you want to on the corporate ladder, and you're looking to, get promoted, and you feel like you're 30 and it's never happened to you, and people are surpassing you, people who are younger than you, who are in their 20s, are getting management positions, and you're still like shit, that's okay. Because I think it's okay to acknowledge that fact and figure out what it is that's wrong. Are you underperforming? Do you not really like that job that much, and so it's difficult for you to overachieve at it because you hate it? You know what I mean? I don't know. Whatever the case is, like, it's okay to like do a deep dive into your life and figure out what it is what's going on, so that you can, achieve what it is that you want to achieve. But yeah, so we're going to talk about lots of stuff, honestly, on this podcast. This first one is going to be short. I just wanted to kind of give you a flavor and an idea of the things that we'll be delving into. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. This is going to come out every single week on Wednesdays.